All right, it's come to my attention, chat, that there's a lot of things going on in the anti-Islamophobe war, okay? And I don't want to make this an Islam versus channel, Islam versus, but this is just very interesting to me. So we're gonna have to look and see. So obviously these are the three biggest Islamophobes on the internet right now, that and God Logic, but I think Logic is the least of the worst of the few. So they've all been cooked by famous Muslim apologists, and that's just not my opinion. You can go ahead and see the videos yourself. This guy, Apostate Prophet, claims ex-Muslim, which claims, and he was an atheist for a while and recently converted to Christianity. Very, very pro-Israel. Now, he got cooked by, if I remember, my friend Dean responds. He used to be a My friend literally hopped on debating with him, rage baited him, and Mohammed Hijab. Mohammed Hijab cooked all three of these guys. Sam Shamoun's considered the most disrespectful one, then Apostate, then David, but they're all really bad. Anyways, they're having a civil war, which happens as the Quran mentions that, they'll always do this. The enemies of Islam you'll never find them actually working together properly. So it's been about time, and apparently they're all getting exposed, like really badly, like sexual stuff going on, all the stuff that they were attacking Islam for, um, they actually did and worse. So we'll actually take a look and see. I didn't watch this full video, I've just heard a lot, and I found out that David Wood apparently went to prison for doing something crazy with little girls. And he was the big, oh, your prophets are this. So it's gonna be very interesting. I really want to see how this plays out.
Whoever complained, let me say, you're a pig, you're an animal, you're a beast, you're a
Okay, here's what's going on in case you guys don't understand. David and Apostate Prophet are going against Sam Shimon. So apparently they're having a civil war. So it's these two versus this guy. Also, if you notice, I find it very interesting. That woman in the hijab in the back of the Apostate Prophet's uh, thing, the guy in the top right here, this woman is supposed to be the Virgin Mary. So notice how they're always talking about the hijab and, oh, the hijab's this, you're oppressing women. Look at how the mother of God, if that's what they consider, I guess, the woman who gave birth to Jesus, who you guys believe is God, um, notice how she's dressed up. Modest, hair covered, only wrists and face shown, just like the Muslim traditional faith. How did Jesus pray? Head to the ground. But let's go ahead and see. You'd think that Sam Shimon would have a little bit more money, but I mean, looking at his background, it's been the same for quite some time. Considering how big he is in the Islamophobe world, you'd think he'd be making some sort of money, but let's go ahead and see what's going on.
dirty dog, and you're good for nothing to be destroyed and sent to hell. Wallahi, Khalid Habib, my goal is to get your mother and piss on her and get the Shia to rape that whore and then also sodomize you, you filthy dog. So what's your background, Augustine, besides your mother being a dirty?
Those first two clips were a little.
Besides your mother. So these are I don't really want to say these are the tenets of a Christian, but just look at how the Christian apologists carry themselves versus how the Muslim apologists carry themselves. And I think you're not going to see a Muslim apologist talking like this. Never. There's a lot of hate in this man's heart. I know Christianity is all about forgiveness and all that, but from what you're seeing from the Christian apologists, at least, a lot of hate, a lot of darkness, a lot of rape, um, and a lot of disregard for basic human moral decency and professionalism.
Were from a few years.
The guys on the right are no better, but actually they're slightly better compared. They're the lesser of two evils. Like Sam Shamoun's been known for being the most vile, vindictive person, but let's just hear this play out. I don't want to keep pausing.
Years ago. I brought those up specifically because they were stuff I was thinking about back then. And the other clips are recent live streams, lots of them talking about us and so on. So just wanted to be aware.
So in that clip, he says that he wants to
Piss on someone's mother
piss on someone's
and
mother
help
and make
help
rape.
Shias, yeah, and sodomize, yeah.
Yeah, I think Radvan is confusing with his father. He used to beat the ston out of his mother after his father used to mount him.
Did you catch that? That's him talking about
All right,
APs.
right. So here, Sam Shamoon is talking about me, right? He's talking about me. This is just very, very recent. This is not old. You can tell this is very recent, within the last week
Also, the thing about AP is he moves like a Jew. Like he likes to throw out so many vile words to people, and the moment someone says anything back to him, he just runs away. He's like, "Look, this is what happened, and he said this about me, and he said this about me." It happens in every single debate where it's actually hilarious. The moment he takes a punch back, he cannot take a punch for the life of him. There is an ayah in the Quran that says تحسبهم جميعا وقلوبهم شتى. It's mainly talking about the Jews in a specific war, but it means you think they're united, but their hearts are divided. And it's talking about basically the enemies of Islam, specifically in this case it was the Jews. إن الذين كفروا بعضهم أولياء بعض. Indeed, the disbelievers are allies of one another, but that the tafsir clarifies they only unite temporarily and internally they are in conflict. This is from Ibn Kathir. Their alliances are unstable, as we can see. One more verse before we keep going. We have cast among them enmity, and hatred until the day of resurrection. As we can see, we're about to see all of this. If they were expelled, they would not go out with them, and Allah bears witness that they are liars, and their disputes weaken them. So here, do not dispute among yourselves, or you will fail, and lose your strength. So this is, I think, something that this is advice for the Muslims. But the opposite of implication is that the enemies of Islam do dispute, and they do lose strength.
Response to me calling him out for his horrible behavior and for saying that we know that he's a wife beater. In response to that, did you hear what Sam just said? For those who don't catch it, what Sam just said is that my father apparently would beat my mother and would then rape me.
I'm not like David Wood, stealing $26,000. I'm not like David Wood. Here it is, guys. If you
You'd
know
need to
any
steal
lawyers,
$26,000.
please, I promise you by the grace of Jesus Christ, we will go forward. AP, pray a lawyer doesn't say he'll do pro bono. I'm going to have your asses, you adulterous whore. You are truly like your father.
Sam, you filthy.
Wow. This is so embarrassing. I'm gonna lower this quality even more because I want it to go smoothly. It doesn't matter.
Disgusting dog, son of Satan, spiritual bastard.
I just don't understand how AP hates Islam so much, and he believes the Virgin Mary. Like, look at this. You tell me that's not a Muslim woman?
Now, I won't call you what you usually call other people, such as a son of a whore. I won't tell you I won't call you what you called me. I won't make fantasies about your dad beating your mother and then raping you, as you did about me.
One, there was after when he was getting his divorce from his wife and he started attacking her and airing all her dirty laundry all over the internet. And I told him, stop doing this, dude. I know you're enraged because she left you and you have issues with people rejecting you. Stop attacking her, right? I said, because look, if you want to attack her, guess what? I know why you're attacking her. You're trying to trash her in the eyes of the Assyrian community to make her life miserable. That's what you're doing. And I said, as much as you want to do that, at least think about your daughters. Sam does love his daughters. To his credit, he does love his daughters. But I'm telling you, I'm like, dude, okay, your daughters live with their mother.
I wonder in what way, though.
What? Cookie in a dirtbag.
I wonder in what way, though. That little sneaky Jew comment. He's like, oh, quit being their back.
But look at this. There are Sam Shamoon fans who are, no, this was disgusting, AP. Why did you say that? Because I made an allusion to
him saying
Sam,
it over and over again.
To Sam having lusting after his own children.
I have the others, and there's one where he starts just quote everything he's calling it. He'll like quote the Bible to justify calling that. He has all the references, right? But yeah, you're right. This is someone who uses the Bible as a weapon and as a justification for him behaving terribly. And so he'll say, look, it says right here, whore of Babylon. So I could call your mother a whore. I call your mother a whore and say your mother the whore who does muta with Shias and stuff because it says whore.
Man. This little faggot was in the hotel room and he saw me coming out of the bathroom, 2 men. Why is he so traumatized by seeing me naked?
Why is he so traumatized by seeing me? I think anyone would be traumatized. Like what?
Does that sound
To be fair, anyone would be traumatized by seeing you naked, Sam.
like a faggot? But you see, he said, I'm a motherfucker. Is he saying that I fucked his mother? Because that's what a motherfucker does, right? See his language?
Starting the relationship up to 2015. Okay, so 2007, Michelle, who was
Oh,
an atheist at the time, I believe, someone invited her to go to Sam's Bible studies. He actually persuades her to convert to Christianity. He persuades her to convert to Christianity. That's in 2007. They began dating in early 2008. So they started dating, guys. Here's the description. One day, he asked Michelle to tell him.
I'm sorry, but AP's face just pisses me off. You could see Ghadab Allah. You could see Allah's anger right on his face. Like, look at him. Oh my God, I can't believe this guy's actually married.
How many men she had been with. She shared her past with the thought that she was confessing to her spiritual mentor. In other words, this is the guy who led her to Christ. And so
Hmm.
she shares her past with him. So she shared her past with the thought that she was confessing to her spiritual mentor. He was outraged at the thought that she had been with these other men and demanded she have sex with him, saying in these words, if you don't have sex with me right now, then get out of my house. Michelle began crying on the bed and said, I'm changed now. I don't want to have sex until I get married. Sam walked over to the bed, pulled down Michelle's pants while she was crying, and had sex with her while she was lying there passively and crying.
That sounds a lot like something that rhymes with grapes. Grape.
AP, I want to know if you reacted to that the same way my wife did when she heard it. What do you call that?
Rape.
That's how my wife reacted to it. He would have sex with her and he would say, yeah, when we have sex, I can't even feel anything because you're so loose from guys you had sex with before we got married.
Sounds like him.
They did, huh?
That
Really?
sounds like
And what's
something
the
he would
proof?
say.
They have proof. Who did I rape? I raped someone? Really? Now that's slander. That's libel. Now they can get sued for that.
I could genuinely see
David
it
Wood
happening.
platformed a rapist. David Wood did a conference with a rapist. David Wood had a rapist in his house for 2 weeks.
Wow.
David Wood said a rapist is the best apology against Islam in history.
I am not quick to condemn. Wasn't quick to condemn Sam. You guys haven't heard me say much over the years. You've heard me say practically nothing. So even when I am, even if I am going to condemn someone, it's not just going to be, oh, I heard something and now I'm going to blast. Oh, no, at the very least, I'm going to think about things for a long time. And if I don't know the details and don't particularly think that the details are things that need to be shared to me, I don't know. I'm quite comfortable letting other people deal with their own issues. Yep. And so, yeah, I'm getting tons of messages like this. He's trying to take the stream down by flagging it with his cult. He's telling everyone go flag the stream. So guys, if this stream comes down, you know what happened. He was successful in flagging it, and he's got his drones. All right, let's continue until it gets taken down because Sam doesn't want this exposed. Guess what? Too late, dude. Too late. You started it.
I'm a new Christian. I'm in no position to make such judgment, but from my observation, and God forgive me, I don't believe that this guy's a Christian.
And I asked the Lord Jesus forgiveness. I've never tried to justify any of my actions. If you've ever heard me, have I justified my actions? I haven't. And again, I'm no wife beater. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And he would know because he's the one who talks about his mother getting beat up by men. Wife beaters have a pattern of beating up women. I was the one.
By the way, his mother getting beaten up by men. David Wood went to prison, from my understanding, for hitting his father with a hammer. And his mother was getting beat by his father, and that's why he beat his father with a hammer. So it was a pretty tragic life story in the beginning. He went to prison, and then there he found someone who knew Christianity, and it gave him this path, and he's like Christian. I always say that Christianity for someone who's an atheist is like usually like somewhat of like a half step towards Islam, because a lot of them, if they keep searching, they go to Islam.
One getting beat up. God is my witness. Okay, he has the photo. Well, I have it too. Okay, I have it too. It's right here. Here, let me beat him to it. Have you heard me justify my reaction? It happened. It happened. There's nothing you can do. You can't undo the past. It happened.
He beat
Right?
his wife.
When you're getting beat up and you react, and I was in the passenger side, so when I hit, it hit here, right? It happened. But guess what she did?
Dang,
It's like almost the demon that was pricking her.
what a piece of shit. You really beat a woman that badly? You busted her up black and blue?
The demon that
Wow.
was pricking her was waiting for it to happen.
Also, stick
And
around
guess
to
what she
the
did?
end.
She started saying,
Stick around to the end because it's gonna get it's gonna get bad for David Wood because David Wood apparently is gonna admit something terrible about himself.
Against everyone. Here, there.
You just gave the Dawa boys lifelong ammunition for ad hominems and all sorts of logical fallacies for life. No, I gave
Dude,
them
will-
I
I
gave
will
them
respond to it.
I gave them tons of ammunition against one particular guy. That's what I gave them. And why did I give them that? Because he demanded it. Look, Crusade Driss, Sam Shamoon fan. What are you saying? You're saying it does not matter what this dude does. He can endlessly heap abuse and attack everyone around him, say whatever he wants. I mean, just imagine. If this guy was going around axe murdering puppies just for fun, like, should we just, we don't want to criticize it because then the Dawa guys would have stuff. Yeah. This is your attitude, so disgusting, like absolutely repulsive. That attitude you have, you can't let this be known. You can't let this be exposed because then it would be embarrassing. That is why you had this, you had these decades of sexual abuse of children in like the Catholic Church. You had priests, right? They understood. Hey, if I can become a priest, then even if I get caught, unless they're not going to want to expose it, they're just going to ship me somewhere else because no one wants to expose the church and make the church look bad. You
Yeah.
don't want, no, we are not letting, Christianity is not going to become a place for serial abusers to be immune to criticism
That's the only fair point he's making so far.
because we're scared of giving the Dawa guys ammunition. No. Before I went to prison, before I went to jail. So I was in jail and then I got out. While I was out on bond, before I went back to jail, and then
All right, let me slow this down. Okay, before he's on bond, he's gonna go to jail again. Just catch this. So he's about to go to jail. Okay, like he was already out on bail and he's gonna go back. This is what he does.
went to prison. Dawa guys, here's your stuff. Here's your
Here's the ammunition that he's giving us. Watch AP's reaction right now.
stuff. The last two girls I had sex with before I went to jail. One,
Dude,
You see how AP's like, dude, hush, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. The last two females he had intercourse with were
what? I don't,
look at the smile on his face.
don't care. One was 13
I don't care. One was 13.
and one was 15. David, how old were you, bro, in both instances? You mean the two girls? 18. I was 18.
Look at AP. AP. Okay, so he was 18, sleeping with a 13-year-old, 15-year-old, not marriage. Not even, you can't even justify it, like, religiously, okay? Maybe they're in a culture where that's okay, but even then, it's marriage. It's not just going behind their parents' back and sleeping with their 13 and 15-year-old daughters. Holy, 13? You're already going to jail. Was that his mentality? You're going to jail, so I might as well sleep with a 13-year-old.
So yeah.
Wow.
Whoa, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Lock me up?
Yeah.
So what?
Yes. Lock him up. Anyways, this is actually it's been hitting the news everywhere. This has been out for 10 days. We even have a Christian news person here. Admits statutory rape, says Muhammad's crime was worse. One was marriage during the cultural norms, which was public, and the other is illegal, wasn't marriage, so adultery. No cultural norms, and you went behind the parents' back to do this, and it was in private because you know you would be locked up till this day. Absolutely disgusting. What the hell? Why would anyone? And here's where the verse comes, okay? Before you ask yourself, why would he admit that? The Quran says, on that day, their tongues, their hands, and their feet will testify against them about what they used to do. There's more. The Quran says this a lot of times. They will say, we testify against ourselves. I think there's another good one. The skin. They will say to their skins, why did you testify against us? The skin replies, Allah made us speak, to whom makes everything speak. And that's why that's why he did it. Why else would he do it? God made him do it. I'd like to understand the rules here. As an 18-year-old atheist and soon to be diagnosed psychopath, I bashed my father's head with a ball head hammer. Shortly after, while I was out on bond, I had sex with two minors. The latter disqualifies me from making YouTube videos about Christianity, while the former does not. I actually don't understand, so please explain. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. When someone says Wood should face consequences for everything, the girl's apologist responded, how exactly would I go to prison for having sex with two girls more than 30 years ago? How would I, even with the police help, find these girls who might be grandmothers? What do you mean grandmothers? They'll be 43 and 45. Maybe it's possible, but I don't know. What kind of resources do you think the police would invest in such a nationwide hunt for two mystery women? Bro, you could find them. Don't shut up. We could find them very easily. Do you think they sent me to prison based solely on something I'm saying? So he's basically saying, ha, you have no proof. That's literally what he's saying that last line. Wood said people are calling him a disgusting pedophile. One comment he read out loud on YouTube stated, this is the same guy who has been attacking Islam for decades, yet he's guilty of something he accuses Islam of. Well, not really. He's not guilty. He Islam doesn't have this. Islam doesn't have this go behind culture norms in private and have sex with little children behind their parents' back, adult in an adulterous manner. This is not a thing. Um, Other respondents thanked Wood for his honesty. Some wrote about confessing, I now have a huge weight off my shoulders. My sin is no. This is insane. I wish that the church was more open. Although I heard more than I bargained for, I'm grateful the Lord brings us together. This is a sex offender. If this was a Muslim apologist coming out, if Muhammad Hijab came out and said something like that, the internet would go nuts. It would be on nationwide news. This is insane. Oh my God. Wood pointed to whatever. Jesus healed a demon-possessed man. So he's trying to make this into a rags to riches. No, dude. Muslim, doesn't it amaze you that Jesus can make the most pathetic piece of garbage on the planet and send him out as an unstoppable witness? This is crazy. What are we seeing down here? No comments? What do you guys think? Let me know, but I thought that was funny. It's always ironic. Every single one of these people got exposed. AP has one of the most tragic stories as well, but we can talk about that whenever he decides to run his mouth again, because he's not very relevant right now. There's no reason to give him relevance if there was no reason, but AP is not any better. Well, I mean, maybe he's slightly better than the 13-year-old thing. Yeah, he would at least keep his mouth shut, but we'll stop it there. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.